Hello, I am Mike Bradley. I am a chartered financial analyst, an enrolled agent, and a fellow of the National Tax Practice Institute. I attended the summer symposium of the California Society of Tax Consultants in Las Vegas in June to acquire continuing education hours like most of the other tax professionals in attendance. But it being in Las Vegas, we all expected to have some fun while we were there. What follows in this video is first a look at my experience attending the symposium, and at the end, a more fun look at my experience at the Westgate Hotel where the symposium was held. The first part of this video is then rather serious, but the second part is rather fun. That being said, here we go. Here is Jen Baker, Executive Director of the California Society of Tax Consultants, hard at work with Morgan Burke, the CSTC Staff Conference and Events Director. Here are the volunteers handing out our badges and our materials for our courses. Here are the workbooks we were issued for our 3 days of coursework. I weighed them on my postal scale when I got home, and I found they weighed a full 10 pounds. Sunday evening at 6 p.m., after registration, all attendees gathered for a dinner where you got to meet the people who you haven't seen in a year or so, and make new friends. Our first work session followed early the next morning. Here is Scott Eric, representing the Internal Revenue Service, delivering the address at the first session early Monday morning. All 300 of those attending the symposium, give or take a few, are in the room gathered to hear what he has to say. Here are a few of the speakers we heard over the next 3 days. Here is Frank Acuna, a lawyer, teaching us the basics of trusts. When you run into me again somewhere, ask me about something funny that happened when I visited him in his office. Here is the Stump the Experts panel, the last session of the symposium.
Questions, and if you have questions, it's in your CSTC handouts. We have some examples of shareholder reimbursement plans, and I believe the K1 material or the Everything S Corp material. Reimbursement plans are more favorable for a couple of reasons. One is, unlike the sole proprietor,
our symposium chairman, this was awesome!
Here is a look around the exhibitors room between sessions, showing the broad spectrum of services available to participants in the symposium. Now we will check out the Westgate Hotel where the symposium was held. First, we looked at the Superbook, where I enjoyed a foot-long Nathan's hot dog for lunch. This is, after all, Las Vegas, so there were plenty of gambling opportunities. A friend at home asked me to bet $5 for her at roulette, putting the money on red after a black. She won 3 times, which is enough to buy her 3 cups of coffee at Starbucks Of course, I reminded her that she has to report these winnings on her IRS Form 1040. I don't do her taxes, so I'm unlikely to know. This is the wonderful view from my room. And here's my room. Note Elvis Presley on one wall and Marilyn Monroe on the other. On my previous visit to the West Gate, a group of ladies invited me to join them in going to a strip show. It turned out the show was by male strippers. There were about 150 people in the room, including 7 men, including myself. There was hooting and hollering and shouts to take it off. Several lucky ladies were called to the stage at the end of the show, where they had simulated sex. Well, at least I thought it was simulated. You know, this is Las Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.